There is something happening quietly in Ghana that the world is starting to notice
on this planet Earth. Ghana is like one of the safest places on this planet Earth.
And that is because different people from different countries with completely different backgrounds are all noticing the same thing, that Ghana is one of the safest and most peaceful places they've ever experienced.
To Ghana.
Why Ghana?
Because that's the only place I have actual genuine peace.
Okay.
You get me? It's like when you go to Labadi Beach and then you're looking in the water, man. And then you see there's this line at the end where it's it separates the sky from the water. I feel like that's where God is.
And this is not just one person, not just one interview, but multiple voices across different conversations, and all of them are pointing to the same truth.
They're just so friendly and so kind and so sweet all the time.
Some say they feel a sense of peace the moment they arrive in Ghana. Others say Ghana feels safer than many places they've lived.
I would live in any country in Africa above America any day, anytime.
And when you start putting all of these voices together, then you begin to ask yourself just one powerful question: that what exactly is happening in Ghana? Today in this video, we find out what exactly is happening in Ghana. But then let me introduce you to Big G Hair, selling raw natural human hair at very affordable prices. This is Burgundy front lace wig going for just $75. You can buy this, and you can buy this around $122 or even $200. So take the WhatsApp number and contact BG Hair today.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
Ghana is often called West Africa's shining democratic star. It has a reputation for its political and economic stability. According to the recently released Global Peace Index report, it's Africa's second most peaceful country and the first in the region.
So across different interviews, different platforms, and different conversation, a clear pattern is emerging. Foreigners who have lived in Ghana, visited Ghana, or studied in Ghana all seem to share one consistent experience. They feel peace, not the kind of peace you read about in books, but a real everyday kind of peace, and the kind where people greet you warmly, the kind where strangers help you without expecting anything in return, the kind where communities feel connected. One person described Ghana as a sense of calm they haven't experienced anywhere else. And what makes this even more interesting is that these are not coordinated opinions. In fact, these are independent voices from independent people, different stories, yet the message is the same.
On this planet Earth. Ghana is one of the safest places on this planet Earth. Especially, I think it's rated #1, not of the world, but of Africa. It's the safest country. They have a great relationship with America. And some of the other, big time countries. And so they're a very peaceful country. Very, very nice people, very humble. And so there's not a lot of danger.
To Ghana.
Why Ghana?
Because that's the only place I have actual genuine peace, man.
Okay.
You get me? It's when you go to Labadi Beach and then you're looking in the water, man. And then you see there's this line at the end where it's it separates the sky from the water. I feel like that's where God lives.
Ghana feels different, and some of them even try to explain it by talking about the culture, the respect that people have for one another, the way conflict are handled through dialogue rather than aggression. Others even pointed to the people themselves, the friendliness, the openness, the sense of community.
They're just so friendly and so kind and so sweet all the time. It takes a lot to make a Ghanaian mad, and even when they're mad, they're not rash. Like I said, they're not violent or anything, and it just passes and everything's going to be okay after that. So that's really sweet. They yell a lot, but they don't ever fight, and that's okay with them.
Ghana is one of the safest places on this planet Earth. Especially, I think it's rated #1, not of the world, but of Africa. It's the safest country. They have a great relationship with America. And some of the other, big time countries. And so they're a very peaceful country. Very, very nice people, very humble. And so there's not a lot of danger.
But perhaps the most powerful part of all of this is not just what they are saying. Maybe it's the consistency. Because when multiple people who don't know each other come to the same conclusion, it stops being just an opinion. It starts becoming a pattern.
And the peace in this country,
you might not, you like as a Ghanaian, you not understand because your country is peaceful. But because I was in Syria and I saw how like stressful it is, even if you need egg, you can't go out to get egg. This one is very important. But people, you know, sometimes you only like, how do I even say it? Know the worth of something after you lose it. I hope Ghana never loses peace, but the peace in this country is very, very important.
And that pattern is clear. Ghana is not just seen as peaceful by its citizens. In fact, it is being experienced as peaceful by the world.
Bro, when I went to Ghana, that was the first time I felt like just a black man.
Yeah.
I'm not a black man who's a threat. I'm just a black man.
Yeah.
That was the first time in my life that I literally walked outside in society and I felt no pressure to try and conform to what I think people's perceptions of me are.
Right.
And I think we carry that weight so often
crazy
that we don't realize how heavy it is until we don't have to carry it anymore, bro.
Man.
But here's where it gets even more interesting. In fact, peace is not something that happens by accident. It is built through culture, through values, and through the way people treat each other every single day.
Out of curiosity, I went on Google and searched the best West African country. Guess what? Ghana is considered the best West African country, frequently ranked as the most visited, politically stable, and safest destiny in the region. Wow. It is a top choice for tourists due to its rich history in the Ashanti region, vibrant culture, and diverse biodiversity. Whoa. Now, I'm not surprised, but really, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I always thought it was Nigeria. Man, did you know that?
And what these interviews reveal is that Ghana has built something many countries are still searching for.
Ghana is a predominantly Christian nation, with just over 70% of the population identifying as Christian. However, the second largest religious group in Ghana is Islam, with just over 20% of the population identifying as Muslim. And with a population of roughly 30 million people, that means there are about 6 million Muslims living right here in Ghana. We are outside of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana, national headquarters, love for all, hatred for none. And this is one of the most beautiful mosques I have ever seen. Islam actually traces its roots here in Ghana all the way back to the 15th century. But this mosque was built in the 1950s, but in the past couple of years, it's undergone major renovations. They've put on an outstandingly bright, beautiful new coat of white paint. There were substantial renovations made to the minaret. And as you can see over there in gold lettering, we have the words of the Quran, the words of the Prophet Muhammad, and then over here we have these beautiful blue reflective mirrors. And it just goes to show you that if you're a follower of Islam in virtually almost any country you visit, you don't have to go very far to find people that think the way you do and believe the same things that you do as well.
A society where people can coexist, connect, and live without constant tension. And that's why foreigners come to Ghana. They don't just see it, they feel it.
Ghana is so safe. So safe. During my time there, I would be out by 10, 11, and I never felt like anything bad was going to happen. And I never saw police on the road. That's another thing I noticed. And I think it's because it is like very safe as well. So there's no need for police to be everywhere or anywhere. That's just my observation. If it's different, I apologize. But during my time there and my time out, I never saw a stop and search like I would usually see when I'm in Nigeria. And then I noticed that Ghana is actually like the 4th safest country according to World Population Review. So it kind of makes sense that I felt safe there.
So when you hear people from different parts of the world all saying the same thing about Ghana, it is worth paying attention to, because maybe, just maybe, there's something Ghana is doing right that the rest of the world can learn from.
In Ghana, you don't need to clamp your motorbike. I don't know even how to do that, how to clamp it the front tire. If you go to the European cities, motorbike like this cannot be left in the parking place if you don't clamp it. Comment if you know the reason why. In Ghana, when you go to the shopping malls, people come with the motorbikes, with the bicycles. None of them is locked, clamped, or something like this. Sometimes you see these cars, V8, this expensive car. Someone leave the engine on because he is going to the shopping mall to grab something and come back maybe in 3 to 5 minutes. Yes, ecology, I know, but it's so safe that you don't need to even think that somebody can actually jump in your car and drive it away. So what do you think? What is the reason behind why in Ghana is so safe? Why in Ghana there is almost doesn't exist this problem, then your car or motorbike can be stolen? Maybe you know the answer, but that is super safe, my opinion.
Ghana is listed as the second safest country in all of Africa after Mauritius. A lot of things when I first got here that I knew that as a black American, if this was happening in America, that's when you start hearing those shooting stories, those fighting stories, and seeing the fights and the gunshots online. And it took me some time to realize, like, oh, these people get really angry at each other, and then after some time, they go back to being normal. And a lot of times, too, the issues get resolved. And that calmed me down a lot, being here, just seeing constant examples of people getting really angry and then expressing their feelings, and that's it.
Now, I want to hear from you. If you've been to Ghana, lived in Ghana, or even just observed from afar, do you agree with this opinion of these people? Is Ghana truly one of the most peaceful places in the world, or there is more to the story? Drop your thoughts in the comment section and let me know what you think about this opinion. It's a wrap for today.